Hello and welcome back to another legendary episode of Speculation Alley. It's your boy ABOMB here, and of course with me as always is my brother from another mother, Cryptodilly, aka now known as Professor Dilly. So check yourselves, people. What's going on, brother?
Not a lot, man. Just living the dream. Decided to, dress down a little bit. I got a little bit too much credit on the streets about my blazer.
You did. You were almost like it almost caused a ruckus, if you will, and a riot.
I mean, we had
having a day.
Yeah, we had what is it? Disturbing people or vulgar people? My bad.
Disturbing people. He may be disturbing and disturbed people as well, though. So we don't know.
I mean, I just love the he's like, let's get froggy. Let's get in that green suit with the cheetah print bodysuit.
Please no. Just please
Some of the best Twitter spaces I've ever been on. Joker, you're killing it, buddy.
Legend. Absolute legend. Yeah, shout out. We got to give him some love. But let's jump into speculation. What are we talking about today, my man?
Today, let's talk about Puma. I think it's on the forefront of everybody's mind right now. A lot of people are, have different speculation, a lot of different takes. Some people are excited. Some people aren't. So I think let's just give them the details about what's going on.
Yeah, I like it. You want to lead us into sort of how Puma got involved in Web3, first of all?
Yeah, so I mean, as we know, 10KTF, their altitude is Web3, the peak of Web3 partnerships. And one of the big things that they've done is they brought Web2 brands like Louis Vuitton and Gucci into the space. And they have basically helped Puma do the exact same thing, but they did it a little bit differently with a partnership. And that partnership truly came to fruition on June 24th at NFT.NYC when it was officially announced. Megan McDowell actually wrote an article for Vogue Business that breaks down the partnerships and the details with Adam Petrick, the CMO. So pretty exciting stuff. I mean, Puma coming into the space, they're a $10 billion company. So for them to be here is really big. And for them to really partnership and hitch their wagon to 10KTF is a big deal.
Absolutely. I agree. It's kind of nuts that time is flying by. And that was February, right? That they did that of last year. So here
June
we are.
24th of 2022.
June. I thought it was February. Sorry. But yeah, we're not that far from that even still, though. So it is nuts that all this is going along. But I want to jump into their story and sort of because we are, coming from a 10KTF sort of speculation viewpoint. And 10KTF, if they do nothing else, they tell a damn good story. So yeah, we have the very first, it's issue 01 actually. And we see, this scientist coming into the Puma, I don't know, like laboratory or maybe just stock room of some kind. And you see this little dude who looks a little sketchy, that guy, a little green guy, and he catches like a nitro pass vial. And it essentially, was he alive already or was he not? Well, luckily that we were in a Twitter space and Adam Petrick was saying that actually he was a plush doll, kind of forgotten about. And because this nitro liquid falls onto this plush doll, he becomes self-aware and alive now. So moving right along then, we see on the next one, he's sort of observing all of these accomplishments that Puma's had in their history, right? And we see the original Super Puma hanging out right there, and he's almost like envious of him. Like, why is this guy getting all the glory and I'm not? And then you can see this time machine, which I'm going to do the same thing Adam Petrick did, and I'm not going to try to announce that or say that word. That's Time Machine in German. This is a comic book, funny enough, that did start out in Germany, I think in the 70s, that Puma launched, and it's sort of being revamped. So we see this other evil character, and then we jump to this now, and he's hopping into the time machine. So interesting. What's he going to do? Well, let's go to the next slide, and I think we can find out exactly what happens. And these were all released over a period of time that within like a few months, a few weeks apart from each other. And now we see the original Super Puma. He's here, and he's like, what's happened? And now he's looking at all these old iconic moments, but history has been changed now because the evil Puma, you see how he has the P, he's original Super Puma, but the other dude had like this gooey E on him, and that's evil Super Puma. So he sees now that he's been replaced by this evil, like almost like mirror of him, which is kind of more janky and messed up, but still it almost sets up this conflict right off the bat, right? Like, how is Super Puma going to right this wrong? It looks like maybe the time machine may or may not work anymore. Like, so how is he going to go about fixing this whole situation? I just really like how Puma rolled this out. It is getting to be, I don't know, I'm just enjoying the story, the way that they're telling it.
I think the comic book approach is really interesting. I'm very curious to kind of like punch in these dates and look at like the cross reference to them.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's cool because there's a lot of tie-in with like the celebrity athletes, and there's a lot of opportunity within this collection to really like reward holders, especially with how like immersed Puma really is. Like, they're the first Web 2 company, in my opinion, that like went full in, like puma.eth. And then they were saying that the engagement on their Web 3 posts have been higher than their general posts that they make on Twitter. So that in itself is driving a lot of like opportunities for this space. And I think rallying around that is super cool and super important for the future of Web3 for a lot of these fashion brands and just brands in general kind of coming into the space.
Absolutely.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about their actual Super Puma PFP then, because basically a lot of people, there's a lot of anticipation about it, what's going to come. The first like kind of transition of Puma coming out, they came out with these Nitro tokens. And when you got the Nitro token, you could redeem a Nitro pass plus like this materializer. And when you did that, the materializer actually split off into two different styles of shoes, which was the Nitro style and then the Inferno. So there's two different styles of shoes. And that obviously has already happened, but they haven't actually redeemed those shoes yet. So that's an opportunity in itself to go get some exclusive shoes. There's 2,000 of each style. And then with that, you got a grand total of 4,000 Nitro passes that stem from that. And on the Nitro pass, they have what the shoe looks like, either the Inferno or the Nitro, but it doesn't really matter what shoe is actually displayed on the actual NFT. Those are just Nitro passes. And by holding a Nitro pass, you get a free airdropped PFP of the new Super Puma collection. So that is going to be a total of 4,000 that are dropped to their holders. Another 4,000 will go to public sale. That means that 2,000 remain. 2,000 are actually going to go to the 10KTF community. And that is huge because there's a lot of opportunity being a part of the 10KTF ecosystem. Obviously, having that partnership back in June of 2024, June 24th, 2022. That means that there's obviously a lot of opportunity with them partnering. And we already know from Adam Petrick that they're going to be a parent within the 10KTF ecosystem, which is huge. Them being a parent NFT, what that means is that if you're a parent, you can actually craft your PFP onto items within the 10KTF ecosystem. So if you have blank high tops or blank day pack or any blank item within the 10KTF stockroom, you'll be able to pair that up with the Super Puma NFT, and you'll get an output of a crafted item that shows your PFP on those shoes or backpack or whatever. That is big in itself because a lot of people have speculated that 10KTF kind of like helped Oni through their like period where they were really like not doing well. So if that can be possible, like these Super Puma NFTs, I think they have a lot of potential just in that, but being backed by a $10 billion company like Puma is massive. So there's going to be some big drops, big activations. And I'm bullish. I'm bullish. I became a whale. I became a Puma whale because I was like, I'm not missing out on this rocket ship, baby. Pump my bags.
Let's go. I mean, honestly, it is kind of wild to see such a brand because we saw Gucci, what they did with 10KTF. We've seen other like Adidas and, you know, certain brands come in and it's been more like of a collaboration effort more than actually like planting a flag and it being like, This is our core collection. So for Puma to come in, as you said, a $10 billion annually company, that's that's fucking nuts. Like, they are really planting this flag here, and I think they're rubbing shoulders with the right people early on, aka
I think that they've built a nice community as well. Like, their Discord is really like a lot of people that are fans that want to participate in the ecosystem. And I mean, shout out like Benaldo and a couple other like big Aloe is another one that are big supporters of the Puma community. So it's really cool to see that crossover. And I think you're right. They definitely they had the right advisors, unlike some of these other Web 2 companies coming into Web 3. So it's good to see. Now, with that being said, we have the Puma PFP, but there's also another 10KTF collaboration that's going to happen. They had the details out on the Puma Discord and then removed them. So what that means, I don't know. So I think it's just time to get into some speculation about what this collaboration is going to be. What we do know about this is that it's said that 500 of whatever is to come with this collaboration are going to go to the Puma community. If you're a Puma whale, meaning you hold 10 Nitro passes at a minimum, you get one of these, and it's a super limited collection. And I think that it's probably going to be like 2,000, but 1,500, that means go to 10KTF. Now, if that's the case, what could that be? If like it's a Puma NFT, but 10KTF is getting majority of the actual share, the lion's share. What that means to me is what we've speculated on it in the past, which is that it'll be a Puma blank. Now, if that's the case, and we get a Puma blank, let's say it's a slipstream, you're able to craft your Super Puma, your Mutant Ape, your World of Women, whatever PFP you want onto this blank shoe. They are talking about breaking a world record. Now, I think the world record that they're trying to break is the most one-of-one shoes ever created with a single run. And what I mean by that is if there's 2,000 of these shoes that are all unique in themselves because they have a different PFP per shoe, and you get those as physicals, that would be a world record in itself. They'd be hyper limited, and they would be an insane collectible. And that is hard to top in the future. So to say I'm bullish is like I'm just excited. Like there is so much opportunity with this, and I'm pumped about Puma. I'm pumped about it.
I am too. I mean, it is nuts. I know that you were like kind of like, you know, sprinkling that Puma on me, and I was like, I don't get it. And then finally I kind of got it because I did some research. And I don't know. Again, it's going to be very interesting to see exactly if that does happen, what you just stated. If that happens, that is going to turn so many heads, not only in Web 3, but in any Web 2, 1, 0, whatever one. You know what I mean? It's like people are going to be blown away. Like, where did you get those? I was just at a party last night, and I had an amazing conversation with this ape, this Bored Ape member that was essentially wearing the Slipstream Pumas, and I saw the shoes, and that's what got my attention. I was like, bro, I know those shoes. Those are Slipstream. I was like, bro, those are Slipstream Pumas. He's like, yeah. I was like, what's up, man? I'm 10KTF ABOMB. He's like, oh shit, I know about 10KTF. We just started smashing it up, but because those slipstreams and doing the research, you know, led me to that combo. But super excited for Puma. I can't wait to hear and see sort of what happens with these PFPs that they drop. I know Adam Petrick was talking about there being certain like one-of-one characters that are going to be maybe part of the story, maybe not, but will be definitely like a grail, like a coveted item. So I have my fingers crossed.
I think what's cool is that they're tying into their heritage. Like this previous like comic kind of series is based on their previous history, which is really cool. Right. And they're tying in all these historical events as well. So I think like as more like events real time happen, we could probably see access to certain events, like I've gotten a soccer jersey from Puma because I'm part of their community. Like there's different things that they have access to that not a lot of other like, you know, Web3 projects are going to be able to deliver upon. So I think that's super cool. The speculation obviously is that we're going to get IRL, you know, shoes that are one-of-ones. When you think about the sneaker heads that are out there, like that's going to be one of the most coveted collectibles ever. And what is going to turn heads is the production. Like if they are able to do something like that, and again, this is speculation, but if they're able to pull off that unique of a run on shoes, everyone's going to be wondering how they pulled that off, and they're going to want to try to make them highly customizable, the same way that Nike ID and all these other companies that kind of came out with like build your own. That's
Right.
going to be like a concept that's then scalable, and a lot of other companies are going to come in and try to do the same thing. So super cool. I think that this is a really big turning point for fashion, and we're right here in that, and we're able to be a part of it. So super cool.
Nuts.
But
It's nuts.
let's round this bad boy out.
All right. Well, we appreciate y'all coming to watch this video and this content we create for y'all on a weekly basis. We release one of these episodes every Wednesday around 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can also find us that very same day hashing it up about this subject matter that we released earlier on in the day around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Twitter. And just give us a ring, follow us, leave your comments below, let us know what you think, and pump our bags, obviously. That's what we're looking for.
I like how that's become like a thing that I
That's
say.
our slogan. That has to be our slogan. Like, Speculation Alley. Thank you for watching. Pump our bags.
Yeah, buddy. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.